All right, welcome back to Gravel's Garage. We're going to get to work on pulling out this tired old Predator 212 out of Too Loud here. Our Power Wheels bodied four-wheeler, which was a Coolster 125. It's a cool little machine. It was pretty powerful. It started making horrible noises. I'm not sure, but it's 5 years old. We're going to pull that out and put in a brand new, it was a rare Tillotson 212R I got from Go Power Sports like 2 years ago. We used it for about an hour and it didn't do the job I wanted it to do, so I pulled it back out. It's got almost no runtime on it. But yeah, I'm going to get to work on this. I got to pull all the entire body off. I got to pull the Power Wheels body off, then the four-wheeler body, then we can look at pulling the motor. Let's get to work. Working on it, getting there, little by little. You can see all this crazy wreckage. It's really hard to get in here, so it's very time-consuming. I apologize for this weird style of editing. I am recording with my phone, so I have to pause and come back. Pause and come back. All right, we got the truck body off. We're down to the four-wheeler body. I don't have to take the wheelie bar off. It's not in my way to pull the motor, but I only got one bolt, and I don't have the right cotter pin. We're gonna fix that before we put it back on. I don't know. My son Zane is telling me to probably fix it and leave it on there, but we're gonna see how bad it is. It was wheeling before. We'll see how bad the wheelies are now before I put it back on. And this four-wheeler body's been through some trouble. And yes, this intake setup is a universal cold air intake for a car. You can buy it at your local auto parts store. That's what I had to do to get that air cleaner out of your way so you could put your foot here. All right. Get a good look at it. Zane painted that body. So, it even looks pretty good as a four-wheeler. All right, let's get back to work. All right. We have all the bodies off, and I broke the intake getting it off. Snapped that booger, so that'll be a trip back to town to get another one. About 20 bucks. So now I just got to undo this motor, get that out of there. We'll be reusing a lot of parts off of here. I need that throttle plate because there's no room for the gas tank to be inside that frame, so we're going to reuse that. And that exhaust, that nice little short header that makes Too Loud what it is. We are going to reuse that as well. That's only 12 inches long. That's why it's pretty loud. It's pretty good. All right, we're going to get this apart. Let's get back to work. Okay, engine is out. We're going to have to probably clean this up a little bit in here. It's dirty in here, so we'll clean this up a little bit before we put the new engine in there. Of course, we got to take everything off there. Got to take the gas tank off, and the exhaust has to come off. We're going to pull that cover off and paint that black real quick. And here's the old one out of here. Yeah, we actually have a hole in the engine down here. This lower torque converter mount right here is going through to the inside of the block. So yeah, that's leaking. It's had enough. She's done. So we're going to take the parts off of here that we need and move them over to that motor and get that motor in there. Let's get back to work. Okay, before we put this motor back in, let's show what you got to do when you use this throttle plate assembly. You take all of the other stuff off, but you keep this rod, and when it goes into the throttle, whatever this trigger is, it can fall out, so you'd have to get a hot glue gun and put a little dab of hot glue on the top of here to hold this in so that will not vibrate and pop out of there. And we were putting a torque converter on here. So you have 2 oil fill plugs, and so you need to cut the tip of this one off towards the cylinder, because that's going to be the back of the torque converter, and it wraps around the motor right here. You need to get that out of the way. So I took some tin snips and cut that off. All right, we're going to get this back in here, get this back in the buggy, and get this done. All right, let's get back to work. Okay, the engine's back in, the throttle's hooked up, that's working. I forgot to even mention and show the custom swing arm bracket that I had to make the motor to. It's using the factory engine mount there, and I have this motor plate that I had to make myself up under there, and then I made brackets that I had to weld onto. I don't know if we can see them. Yeah. And it wraps around, and it actually can pivot right here on these bolts and lift up and down. But I have this, since the chain tensions from all the way here in the back with these bolts, that I don't have to have the motor mount moving. So you do all the chain tensioning from back here at the rear axle. And then it has to have the idler pulley right here that the chain rides on, because the pivot point is not even with this pivot point. So you have to have this idler here to keep the chain at the right tension. All right, let me get this torque converter on and get everything lined back up. Here we go. Okay, we have chosen our correct amount of spacers. Oh, I've already started that bolt. I've chosen the correct amount of spacers so that when this goes in here, this is lined up and even. And when we put this belt on here, it will be correct. Can you see that? Everything, look how even that is. Okay, let me get this keyway in here. I think we're going to have to clean a little bit of rust out of there first. All right, come back in a minute. Okay, I have the keyway installed in here. Yeah, it took a little bit of effort, but that's in there. So this fits on there now, but we want to put our belt on here. And this belt, it matters which way it goes. One side of this belt is flat, and one side is slightly beveled. So you need that beveled side to come out so that it matches the curves. See the curve in here? You have to match that. I'm going to put it on correctly so that that matches. We're going to put it on back here first, and then I'm going to slip it into this, and then we get our keyway lined up. This is awkward. All right, let's see. Get this up here. I got my finger in the way. There it goes. All right. It's kind of the hard way, but that's how we get that on there. I'll run this bolt in here, which is the long bolt from the other torque converter, because I don't have extras. All right, we'll get this put back together, get the chain on here, and we'll start putting it back together. Okay, I got everything back in. Everything is all hooked up. I'm gonna try to give it a pull start and see how she runs. But I don't know. It's a stage 1 kit, which means it's been rejetted and exhaust, but this little Tillotson motor feels like it's got a lot of compression. I do have the governor pinned wide open just so it can't return. It's only stage 1. If we went any bigger, you want to remove that. But This will be fine. Let's see if I can start this thing. Oh man, something's not right. Uh-oh. Starter cord's not engaging. Alright, we're gonna try something else. Okay, we've got it all back together as the four-wheeler, and we're gonna make a test hit. We've already kind of ripped around the yard a little bit, so she's a little ripper. Let's see if I can get this started. Zane, why don't you hold this for me? And let me get this I don't know how fast that was. Sure is loud. Too loud. Speed of 42. I think we've gone faster before. I don't know. That's pretty quick. That is pretty quick. Alright, she's all back together. Oh, let me get Zane over here so we can get another rip. Get another rip on her with the body on it. Sucker's a mean little machine. Too loud. It dang sure is. Dang sure is. Alright, Zane's getting ready to take a rip. You want to hold this while I get it started?
Yep.
It's really hard to start.
My finger was in the way for a second.
You want to rip the cord right out of your hand. It's got so much compression.
Yeah.
Sucker's so loud. Alright, so we're going to end this video right here. Thanks for watching.